The crime that shook Malawi. Who killed
Dr. Victoria Bobe? Welcome to True Crime Malawi, or simply TCM.
Here, we tell Malawi's most shocking and important stories with truth, dignity, and respect. We don't sensationalize tragedy. We honor the victims.
We analyze the evidence.
And we ask the hard questions, not to accuse, but to understand.
Malawi is a generally peaceful country, but sometimes darkness enters our communities, our homes, and our lives.
These are the stories that shook us, the crimes that changed families forever, the mysteries that still haunt us today. If you believe these stories deserve to be told honestly and respectfully, you're in the right place.
This is True Crime Malawi.
In this episode, why was Dr. Victoria Bobe killed? On a quiet November night in Kigumula, behind the walls of a family home,
something horrifying happened. A young specialist doctor, a woman whose hands had delivered life,
was killed in her own sanctuary. And the more details come out, the more Malawians are asking the same questions. What really happened inside the Bobe residence that night?
And why does almost everything about this case feel wrong? Today we walk through the facts, what is known, what is unclear, and what simply doesn't sit right. No sensationalism,
no accusations,
just the chilling, dramatic truth of a crime that has shaken a nation to its core. It was the 17th of November, 2025,
a normal Monday night. The family of four, 2 adults and 2 children, had dinner. They watched a little TV, just their usual family, winding down routine. Soon the 2 children went to sleep as they had school the next day. The husband and wife got ready for bed as well, as they both had work the next day, and of course, they had a long day already since it was a Monday, the beginning of the week. Nothing unusual, nothing suspicious. But outside the walls of their compound, someone was watching, someone was planning, and at around 11 p.m. midnight, they made their move. The attackers drilled a hole through the brick fence, a slow, deliberate, noisy method that makes no sense for a typical Malawian burglary. Then they assaulted the security guard, tied him up, and forced entry into the house. They broke the door with a metal bar to gain entry. Victoria's husband, who had seen the burglars moving outside through the window, began to shout for help. Normally, that's the right course of action. Then most of the times, the neighbors will run to the rescue to intervene. That's what happens, at least for the most part.
Those who can afford to install alarm systems, they activate the alarm and a private security company will attend. Those private security companies are the best at responding to crime, but they come at a cost most Malawians cannot afford. There was no alarm installed in the Bobe's household. We are aware that the Malawian police have a hotline number to report criminal activity. We are not sure how effective this hotline is in any case. Let's just say that the Malawi Police Service are not effective at rapid response due to a severe lack of resources, including vehicles. No one lives under the illusion that I will call the police and they will come and rescue me. Unfortunately for the husband, it seems that some of burglars had already entered the house by the time he had gone to the window. Dr. Victoria Bobe at some point had a chance to send a chilling and upsetting audio on WhatsApp message, pleading for anyone who happened to listen to the message for help in the vernacular.
Tithandizeni kwa Bobe kwalo akuba kunyumba chonde kwa Bobe. Kwa Bobe kwalo akuba kunyumba chonde. Tithandizeni.
Ladies and gentlemen, those were her haunting last words. Her loved ones would get to hear. What happened next was fast, violent, and irreversible. According to her husband, the thugs were asking for money, and when he said he did not have any, it appears that the criminals were irate and attacked Victoria Bobe. Within minutes of sending that WhatsApp message, Dr. Victoria Bobe was shot in the head. She died instantly. Unfortunately for Victoria, a close-range gunshot penetrating in the head is almost usually fatal. It causes what they call a catastrophic injury from a traumatic brain injury, TBI.
The crime was especially violent. A specialist gynaecologist at only 33 years old, a lifeline for masses of women in Malawi, a rising star in medicine, and more importantly, a mother of two gone in seconds. It is unclear where the two children were in the house at this point. We hope they remained in their bedrooms.
And the intruders fled with almost nothing, just one laptop and 2 empty bags. The kind of items you take when you know exactly what you came for. News of her death didn't just spread, it exploded. Malawi woke up shocked, scared, and confused. This wasn't a robbery gone wrong. This felt personal,
calculated,
violent, in a way that does not match the typical patterns of crime in the country. Armed robberies in Malawi happen, but they are rare. The country has recently been very quiet on the armed robberies front, so that you would have to stop for a minute to remember the last time something this horrific happened.
Malawi recently has gone through a whole generous election for president and MPs recently without a reported death or extreme acts of violence. Maybe an incident or two. Pretty unusual and commendable in these times that we are living in. So, a fatal attack like this? It came as a surprise. People locked their doors,
prayed before bed,
held their children a little tighter.
Even Parliament addressed it. Because when someone breaks into a home, a sanctuary, and kills a respected doctor, the very people we desperately lack, it feels like an attack on the entire nation. Social media lit up with photos from the scene. The fence, the blood, the chaotic aftermath. And then that video. A distraught woman crying inside the Bobe house. Someone recording her instead of comforting her. A moment of raw pain turned into content. The grieving exposed. How is it possible to be comforting someone at the same time taking a video of someone's home? Where was the compassion?
Where was the respect?
Malawi has seen this before, even with dignitaries such as the late Vice President Chilima. The dead stripped of dignity. When some people took photos of the deceased at their most vulnerable and shared on Facebook. Thankfully, there are no graphic photos of the poor lady after she was shot.
From the information available, the husband and the children were unharmed in the ordeal.
There is not much online in terms of her background, as expected, but we know that Victoria Bobe hailed from Magombo village, Balaka, in the southern region of Malawi. As a student, she was hardworking and intelligent. Victoria made it to the only medical school in Malawi, Kamuzu University of Health Sciences, KUHAS, formerly known as the College of Medicine. One of her former lecturers says he remembers her as a hardworking student during her college days. Apart from her regular job, Dr. Victoria Bobe returned to KUHAS to teach medicine.
In 2021, she qualified to become a specialist obstetrician and gynaecologist.
She was only in her late 20s then, a remarkable achievement. In Malawi, the ratio of doctor to patient is shocking, let alone a consultant or specialist obstetrician and gynaecologist. Her expertise and skill was an asset to the nation, and that is not an exaggeration. Dr. Victoria's husband works for one of the banks in the city of Blantyre. By all accounts, he apparently works in a department that deals with forex. So please keep that in mind, as his profession forms part of the narrative that's out there in the public. So then, let's talk about the part that everyone whispers, tweets, and argues about.
The husband.
As harsh as it sounds, in every case of this nature worldwide, the spouse is always examined.
Not because they are guilty, but because investigators must eliminate the most immediate possibility.
Some Malawians online have pointed out that
he was not injured. The children were untouched.
the burglars stole almost nothing. Only a laptop and empty bags were taken.
The attackers seemed to know exactly where to go and what to do. These questions don't accuse him. They highlight inconsistencies. But here is the truth.
Suspicion is not evidence. Curiosity is not guilt.
And grief looks different on everyone.
There are rumors, and we must repeat here rumors, where others allege that the husband allegedly may be involved in forex trading on the black market. In Malawi, this is a big underbelly economy. Netizens allege that he may have crossed the wrong people who came looking for their money. Netizens are speculating that the empty bags that the thugs took are probably used to keep money. Let us bear in mind everything we are saying here is in the public domain, and we must emphasize here, it is not right to accuse the husband of some involvement without any evidence. The man witnessed his wife being killed. He lost the mother of his children. He does not deserve unverified accusations from strangers without any evidence. If anything, someone in his position would want to be thoroughly cleared so the real killers can be hunted down without distraction.
Some other strange aspects being pointed out by netizens include the drilling of a hole through a brick fence. Too slow, too loud, too unusual.
Most burglars in Malawi simply jump over the fence. The violence. It seemed too excessive for a robbery, and lethal force was used almost instantly. Then there is the minimal theft. 1 laptop, 2 empty bags, nothing else. Criminals in Malawi, when they break into your house, they usually take everything they can carry. TVs, phones, appliances, cash, even food. Not empty bags. Why would they take empty bags unless they thought there was something in it?
Netizens are saying the thugs entered with a mission, not to ransack the home, but to target something or someone.
Pieces of the puzzle refuse to fit. Another strange detail.
There has been no wide public appeal for information from the police in as far true crime Malawi is aware.
No, if you saw anything, call us. No, help us find the suspects.
Instead, the tone from authorities, even in parliament, sounded calm, almost confident, as though they already had a direction.
Is this good news? Is it a quiet lead or a sign of something else?
We cannot know yet, but what we do know is this. This investigation must be broad, forensic, and free from pressure, whether political, social, or emotional.
Dr. Bobe deserves nothing less.
This crime only fits 2 scenarios.
Scenario 1, a brutal random robbery by cold-blooded criminals who panicked, shot her, and fled. Possible, but odd. Scenario 2, a targeted attack. A mission disguised as a burglary. Something or someone was the objective. also possible, and supported by the strange details at the scene. Until evidence is released, the truth remains locked behind police silence.
Behind the theories is reality.
A mother of 2 is dead.
The husband and children are traumatized. A family shattered. A community heartbroken.
Malawi has lost a brilliant young gynaecologist, one of the very few specialists the country had.
A woman who could have gone abroad for better pay, but chose to serve Malawi instead.
A true patriot.
She helped women deliver life,
only to have hers taken violently. This is the part that makes people angry. This is why people are grieving loudly.
because her death wasn't just cruel,
it was senseless.
As the nation mourns, the biggest question remains: why?
Why was Dr. Victoria Bobe killed?
And who wanted her gone? The answers will come only through a careful investigation, not social media rumors. May her soul rest in peace. May justice find the people who entered that home, and may her family find strength as they face the unimaginable. We will follow this story as it develops, and to her husband, her children, her loved ones, our deepest condolences. Thank you for watching True Crime Malawi, or simply TCM. Our mission is simple: truth, dignity, and justice. If you want more Malawian stories told with respect and honesty, subscribe and join us for the next case. Until then, take care of yourselves, look after your loved ones, and stay safe, Malawi.